year is 1983, and audiences across the U.S. are going to the theater to watch Scarface and National Lampoon's Vacation. David Bowie's single, Let's Dance, hit #1 on the U.S. Billboard charts. The U.S. invaded the island of Grenada in a little thing called Operation Urgent Fury. Michael Jackson debuted his moonwalk during the Motown 25 special. And meanwhile, down in East Point, Georgia, these two were first starting to break hearts. And little did they know that this pair of Red Wing Irish Setter boots would last be worn in 1983, but would somehow find their way to Nashville 42 years later for a new lease on life.
All right, so here is a letter written by the gentleman who owns these. These previously belonged to his father-in-law. His father-in-law was an avid outdoorsman, and he unfortunately passed away in 1983. They have not been worn since. So here we are 42 years later, and he wants to get them back up and going and put something a little bit more tread on there, beefy, so he can get them out into the outdoors again. Let's go. All right, so most of our boots today that have a wedge are gonna come with a one piece, just kind of swoops down and a full thickness heel. You'll notice on this one, I don't know if you can tell, it actually has a literal wedge piece and then a one thin piece that goes over on top of that. So constructed a little bit different, but very similar to what we have today, like the Christie style. Well. All right, this is just crumbly. It's gonna take forever. I don't even know why I started doing that. We're gonna take this whole thing off anyway, so let's go straight to the midsole and the welt. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and replace this welt too. It's shot. See, I'm trying to get to the threads. That's the leather, not the upper. That's just crumbling. There we go. Ugh. There we go. Part of the leather got left on here. This is obviously not in a position where we can save this, so we got to put more gimming on without ripping the leather. Cut the stitches. There we go.
Okay, we have the soles off of these boots. The guy said in his letter that he was using coconut oil over the years to keep these nice and hydrated. They're pretty dirty. So what I'm gonna do now is just give these a nice deep bath, get them cleaned up. Let's put some color back into them, put some more conditioner back on there. And once we've done all of that, then we can get the welts put on and start the build back. But before we do that, there's one question that I want to answer for so many of you out there. A big question that we often get down the comment section is, hey guys, what timepiece are you guys wearing in your videos? Because if you've noticed, I wear this watch a lot. Heath wears the same one. We've been wearing them for well over a year now, and it's just a great watch. And I want to tell you a little bit about it, which is today's sponsor, Wear. Now, if you've been watching our channel for any time at all, you know that we are all about high quality footwear. And the same goes with a great timepiece. You know, we live in a world of fast fashion. So you're going to see a lot of timepieces out there, a lot of watches. They're sold for under $100. They try to keep up with the style, but that's not what we're into. You know, I'm all about a great timepiece that will last me for years and years, something that I can wear daily that looks great. And that's where Wear watches comes in. Now, I've been wearing this R1 racing chronograph watch for a little over a year now. And I have received so many compliments on it. A lot of those even come from my wife. Every time I wear it, which is most days, I get a compliment. She's always asking, where'd you get that watch again? It's a compliment getter. And one of the other things that we like about Wear watches is that they are assembled and tested here in the United States. And as someone who owns a business that manufactures products here in the United States, that is really important to us to keep jobs here in the US. And one of the other great things about Wear is that they have thousands and thousands of 5-star reviews. And the reason for that is because they are creating quality watches and also with a classic look. Everyone loves a great classic timepiece that is going to last for years and years, and that is where Wear fills that void. Now guys, I'm going to leave a link down below. If you're interested in checking out Wear watches, which I encourage you to do after this video, then make sure to click on the link down below to Wear. I promise you, you will not regret it. All right, we're just going to use a little bit of saddle soap here. I can see where he got a lot of, I guess that maybe coconut oil or something down inside the grooves of these by the laces. Things are dirty.
All right, welts are stained, boots are conditioned, and I will put the insole, we put new gimming on there, and then we will get it all stitched back up. All right, for the folks who are new to our channel, the veterans, they already know, but for the new guys, gimming is a canvas strip that goes around, and it is actually the wall that allows us to stitch together and attach the welt to the insole. All right, so remember this had a wedge, and the thing about a wedge sole is it fills in that gap between the and through the arch with the heel and the forepart. So it didn't need a shank. Since the sole that we're going to put on has a defined heel, we're going to put a shank inside to let me turn this way to support the arch. All right, we're gonna add some cork onto this thing. I am using rubber cement instead of contact cement so that the cork can come out cleanly if this thing ever needs to be resoled again. then the cork can come out a lot cleaner without gumming up all the stitches from the welt. All right, that's all you're gonna get at the stitches. Remember our last video when we were talking about machinery? Right where it cut off is right where my belt snapped on my machine. So luckily I've got a long piece of leather. I'm gonna have to make a new one out of bridle leather, but when it rains it pours, right? All right, this is just acetone, solvents that clean off any of the oils or residue that was in the molds and during the factory process. Clean that off so that the glue can adhere to it a lot better.
I didn't pull any pins or lead.
Okay, this pair of boots has been resoled, and the last thing that we're going to do is get some shoe cream back onto these boots. We could dye them, but I don't really think it's necessary. There's just some spots in here that have some worn marks, and I think the shoe cream here that we're going to use matches that pretty well. It'll put some conditioner back into the leather, put some color pigment on there, make it look nice, and then we'll wrap it up by putting some good oiled leather cream, and that should take care of it, and then we'll be done. All right, I'm going to do this with my fingers just because I want to be careful. I don't want to get it on the white stitches. Yeah, I know, Trent, you should have done all this before you stitched it. Yeah, I know, but it's okay. We'll get it done. Okay, last thing we're going to use is this Saphir oiled leather cream. It's a favorite of ours, especially for a lot of these Red Wings, Thorogoods, boots like that, because a lot of these leathers are made from oiled leathers, and it's just a really good product. So I'm going to put some of that on here, and that should just about wrap it up. Okay, this pair of Red Wing boots has been completed. Now, again, this was kind of an exciting task for us because we always like videos with a story, and these were really neat because, again, they haven't been worn in over 40 years. So it was really cool to get those in here and give them new life.
All right, so these things were Irish setters. The insides were, they were pretty sketch. So, that just comes with age and not being worn, they just start to deteriorate. So we had to take off the old gamming, put some new one on there, kept the insoles, because, that's part of the story, and put on new welts. This was a very straightforward resole.
Yep.
As far as the midsole, we did go with leather like we normally like to do, but this was a little bit thicker. It had a little bit more robustness to it, and it just gives that kind of rugged feel to it.
Yeah.
Topped it off with a pair of 132 Montagnas, and they're ready for his son-in-law to keep wearing them.
Yeah, and that was his thing, is like I said, I think from the story, he said he wants to be able to use these to continue to hunt, maybe, because I think that's what his father-in-law did, but however he chooses to wear them, we think they look great, and I think they'll get another 40 years on these things. So hope you all enjoyed this. Like our last video, guys, some of you must have not watched the whole video, and over 1,000 something of you unsubscribed from the channel and thought we were leaving YouTube. No, we're not leaving YouTube. We were just closing down the everyday shoe repair. We'll still do shoe repair for videos, just that was the gist of it. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that now and give this video a thumbs up. Trust us, I know you all know it really does help the channel and the video. So hope you enjoy your weekend, and until next time, y'all have a good one.